Friends, how are you doing? I hope you are doing well. So today, I'd like to share a tool I've built about a month ago. So, so this one, as you can see, it's very obviously. So it's about the COVID-19. So it's about this pandemic. So basically, I built this tool about a month ago. As you can see here, it's end of March, and I start to create this tool to grab some information from this website. And in this website, they have a live update data for the coronavirus about all of this kind of information, very detailed information on this website. And I only grab the information in the title. As you can see, in the title of this website, you can have the total cases and the deaths. Okay, so since this is a live update, and I use app script to run a query, and we grab the data from this website and put the record day by day in this spreadsheet. As you can see here, I have a daytime, and I have the total cases and the deaths, and also we have a death rate. And to generate a table like this, as you can see, I have two axes in the y position. So you have the cases and deaths and the death rate like this. So if you see the data here, it's a huge increase during. Let's check how many days. It's about 26 days. Is in the number of the cases almost increased 2 million. That's a lot of people. I have to say, this is a very bad situation now. So just stay safe and stay at home if you can. All right. So basically, this tool, I have a daily setup. So every day, this tool will send an update to my email box like this. So this is the email sent from the tool, and I have the table for the day for all the cases and the deaths. I also have the chart, and just like this. So in this example, I would like to share this tool with you, and I also want to take this chance to explain a little bit detail about how to build an email like this. So I'd like to explain the basic layout of the email. Okay, so you can apply it to your project, because the email functionality is a very basic function in the app script. So I think it will be very useful for you to understand how I build this kind of email layout. Okay. All right. So basically, this function is, as you can see here, I have a refresh data button. So this refresh, I think, is in the morning, and I'd like to try to refresh this data again. So if you check the latest data, it's 541 now, and this is 503. So let's try to refresh it, and you can click this button, and you can get the latest data from this website. And we also have a message like this. The data is refreshed successfully. So let's remove this one, and let's try to see the code and explain this to you. So before I go to the script, I'd like to share this website with you. So basically, this is a cheat sheet for the HTML email template. So as you can see here, it provides us a basic layout of the HTML template. So in the email, we have to use an old school layout with this table tag, okay, in HTML, because I think a lot of email service providers, they don't support the modern HTML, like the modern CSS, like the grid or the flex like that. So the layout, you have to do it, it's better to do it with the table. So basically you use table to do the layout. So you put them, you layout them with table, and you separate the columns like the table with the table data td, this td tag, and you layout it with the table rows. So you just like you do the layout in Excel. So not Excel, Google Sheet. Okay, so it's just the same idea. You can lay out it cell by cell. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the basic layout. So they put all the stuff in a table, and they give this table a row, table row. Okay, so in this row, they're gonna have 3 columns, and so this is the columns on the left. So the width is auto, and in the center, we have a column with the width of 600 pixels. So all the content of your email body will go into this column, and on the right side, we can also have a column with a width of auto. So this will push your content in the center of your email body. Okay, so this is the basic structure. So if you'd like to add some styles like the background colors to your email, you should read this, because some CSS properties they suggest us to avoid to use them, because they may be not supported in some email service, like the box shadow. This kind of stuff is not supported in the email service like Outlook, Gmail, and Yahoo. So basically, you can follow their suggestions and do the style in your email body. Okay, so you can visit this website, and you can take this as a reference. All right, so let's go to the script. So from the tools, script editor. So what I'm doing here, let me go to the email template first, because this is exactly the same email layout structure just copied from this website, as you can see. And I give some comments here, because as you can see, all the email body elements will be put in this TD element. So in the middle column. Okay, so if you'd like to change the column width, you can change the number here. So by default is 600 pixels width. So you can change it. You can, if you'd like to take it 100%, you can change it to 100% like this. Okay, so let's put 600 here. And in my example here, as you can see, I have a body here. Let's check the element here. So basically, where is it? So if you check, this is the table row, and this is the table first column. This is the second column. Okay, and this is the third column. On the right side, you cannot see it because the width is not enough, so it is 0 now. So in this column, in the middle column here, I have this is the first element as in a p tag here. This is the second one, okay, and this is a table. So this is another one, and as you can see here, I have a p tag here for the chart, and I also have a footer, and also have a signature here. So I just lay out them paragraph by paragraph. So it basically like this. I put all the content, table, and image, and footer. So I just lay out them like this, just one simple layout. So if you have a 2-column layout or 3-column layout, you can do it very simply like this. So you maybe have another column. So you can copy it like this. So maybe two column layout. So you maybe put your first column. So if like 600 width on the left side, and you can put your first column content here. So now you have 4 columns, but the first one and the last one, there is no content in these both columns. So for the 2-column layout, you can do it like this. So I think you get the idea. If you'd like to change your layout of the email body, okay. So we build all of these contents in the app script. Okay, we can create the content and create the table, create the image. All right. So let's go to the code. So first, before we go to the email, the first thing is to retrieve the data from this website. Okay, and for your project, you maybe don't need to do that, because you can retrieve the data from your Google Sheet. So that will be a little bit easier for you. So basically, I have this function here to get the COVID-19 data, basically from this URL. So from this website, and as you can see here, I will have a query here to fetch the data from this URL. And once we get the response, the content from this website, I'm going to get the text of this response. And I have this regular expression here. So to get the data I need, basically I get the title. I just get the data from the title. Okay, as you can see here in this regular expression, I have a title here, and I only retrieve the numbers in that title. So in this title, we have two groups. Yes, two numbers for the cases and the deaths. Okay, I just grab the data with this regular expression, and once we get the match, okay, so if we get the match, we're going to grab the data from this match. So we get the group first for the cases, and for the deaths is the second group. So this is the first match, and this is the second match. All right, and also remove the comma, because when the data is grabbed, it's in a text format, and we'd like to parse it to a number. Okay, so we replaced the comma from the text, and we also get a new date, and this is the death rate. And once we get this data, we put all of this data in an array. So this will be the row content. So once we get this data, we're going to append this row content to the worksheet. Okay, so we just append the data to this worksheet. Okay, append a row here with 4 columns of data. So as you can see here in this array, we're going to have 4 elements. So the date, the cases, death, and the rate. So we just append the data to the Google Sheet. So once we get the data, we also would like to format the data. So this is the format we'd like to use for the data. And as you can see, we just get the last row of our data and we're going to get the last row of data, and we set the number format to this row of data. And once we format it, we like to get the display values. So the display values is different from the values. Okay, the display values is exactly the same you see here. If you get the values, the value will be like this. So you get all the date, month, year, and even the time. Okay, this is the value. And if you only get the display values, you only see something like this. It's formatted. Okay, and even for the numbers, this is difference, just in case you want to know. And once we get the displayed values, we like to format this data and build another data structure for the table. Okay, if you go to the see my email, you see this data is not in exactly the same. It's just transposed. Okay, the data. So in the spreadsheet, it's in a row. Okay, so we needed to put the data like just transpose it. So this is what we are doing here. We just transpose it, and we just put the data in this variable. Okay. So once we get the data, we'd like to update the data in C1. So in C1 basically is this. All right. So it's just a record of the date timestamp for the update. All right. So we also have a message, like to say the data is refreshed. All right. So if there is no data, we also have a message. If something goes wrong, we cannot grab some data from this website. We'll have a message like this. All right. So and let's see what is the data we get from the website. So let's try to run this function, this get COVID-19 data, and try to run it. And if everything works fine, let's see the log, the logs. So you'll get a 2D array like this. So for the first element is also array. So this is like the first column, first row in your table, and this is second row, and the third and the fourth. So this data we're going to use to build our table in the email. So row first, row two, row three, row four. Okay, so we get the data successfully, and we can now remove this log. So once we get the data, we can use it to send email. All right, so let's go to this send report function, and in this function here, so first of all, before we run this function, we need to refresh the data. So this is where we run this function and get the COVID-19 data from the website, and we're going to grab the data we just logged out here. So we get the data. This data we're going to be used to build the table in the email. Okay. So, and we also need to get the chart. So we get all the chart in this worksheet. Okay. And we're going to convert this chart to an image, to images. So, and put these images in object. Okay. So as you can see here, for these images, we're going to use the chart ID as a key, and then we get the blob of the chart. So we're going to convert the chart to image. So for these images, we're going to use these images to create the chart in your email. Okay, so we have the data for the table, we have the images for your email, and we can start to send the email. Okay, So if we have any data here, if we found any data, so we're going to send the email. So if there is no data, we are not going to send the email. Okay, so if we have any data here, so this is where you can change the email address. Okay, so if you have multiple email addresses, you can separate them with comma. Okay, so this is subject. You can change it here. So we use the COVID-19 live update, and we also put the data, the first row, the second element. If you go to see the table, the first row, the second element is this date. Okay, so you will put in your subject as well. All right. The body, because we are using the HTML body, so we only put a empty string here. So for this HTML body, we're going to use a function to create this HTML body. I will explain this later. So for the options, so we have two elements here. So first one is HTML body. So and the inline images, which is the images we just converted from this chart. Okay. So that's all the parameters we are using for sending email. So now we are trying to send the email. So with these 4 parameters, all the parameters are already defined here. So if everything works fine, we'll send this email. If not, is something wrong with your with this, we're going to log this error. So you can handle it like handle this error here. So for now, I just log it. All right. So if there is no data, we also have log here. All right. So here I'd like to explain this create HTML body here. This is the major stuff for this project I'd like to share with you, because in this project I'm not using a HTML file. I'm building this HTML in the script. Okay. So basically, as you can see here, in this function create HTML body, I have the email body here. I just defined this table. You can see here, I have a 100% width, and I put a row here, and put the first column with the width of auto, and this is the second column. Okay, for this column, I give it a width of 600 pixel, and also give it a padding of 12 pixel, and also set the background color to this gray color. So if you'd like to change the color, you can do it here. Okay, so this is content. This is second in the middle column. Okay, so this is the start of our HTML body, and here is the HTML content. So in this content, I only have a p tag here. So it says thanks for subscribing my channel. Okay, I have a link here to my YouTube channel. Just you can, if you'd like to do some modification, you can do it here for the HTML content. And now we are going to create the table here. So as you can see here, we only get the data of the table, but we also like to get the font color and the background color of this table. So in my example here, I'd like to use the color from here. Okay, if you go to my email, you can see here this color is exactly the same from my spreadsheet. So I only grab the colors from A2 for the font color, because in our table we have 2 columns, so I put array like this. So from A2, B2, C2, D2, and the same for the background color. So this color is for font color, and this is for background color. Okay. So once we have the color, we have the background color, and we have the data. So the values for the table, we can use this function to create a table. So in this create table function, we have 3 parameters here: data. So this is values, and this is colors, and this is background colors. So let's go to this create HTML table function. So this is a function to create a table. So for this table, basically we're going to loop through all of these values, so row by row. And as you can see here, for the values, we're going to loop through it. And for the values, we're also going to loop through it column by column. So for each item in the row, we're going to add a th element for only for the first row. So it's going to be a header, okay. And for the others, we're going to take the data, the table data, okay. So this is how to add the header. So for each element here, we add a background color, and we add the font color, and we also have a border, and we give a padding for the element of the table data or table header, okay. So you can add more styles here. So for now, I only add a very few simple stuff here to make it looks better. All right, so once we create this table, we're going to retain this table. So this is how we can create the table, HTML table here. All right, so once we have this table created, we also like to create the chart, okay. So because we have this image, we got this image at the very beginning. I think, yes, we have these images, and we can create this images with this function called create HTML charts. All right, so let's go to this function. So in this function is very simple. Here it's going to create so we're going to loop through all the charts, okay. So you can call it images, whatever. So for each chart, we're going to create an image tag here. So for the source, we're going to use it like this. So this is very important stuff. So if you go to if you search Gmail app, let's do Google Gmail app. And you search send email to this one with options. So for these options, as you can see, oh my god, where are you? Send email with options. Okay. Where are you? So for the inline image, this is the way you can add the inline images to your email body, okay? So you have to follow this rule. So for the source, you need to have a source like this, so CID column, and this is the key of the inline images in the object, okay? So as you can see here, I have the CID, I also have the key, and we put the images and put them in a p tag, okay? I also have some style for the image, so I set the width of the image to 100%, so, and also give it a display like block, and I have a margin, bottom, and 12 pixels. So if you have more pictures, we're going to separate them with 12 pixels, okay? That will be better. Alright, so this is one to create the chart. And once we have the chart, and the last thing we can do here is add a footer if you'd like to do it. So we have the footer here, also in a paragraph here in a p tag. So once we have all of this email elements in HTML format, we only need to append them to this HTML body. We added the content table and chart and footer. So if you'd like to change the order of this element in your email body, you can change the orders of this code here. All right. So once we have append all of this stuff to the HTML body, we'd like to close all of these tags. So, and last, we're going to return this HTML body. And once we get the HTML body, we can use it in our Gmail. So everything will be fine here once we have finished it. I think I've noticed some issue. Let me see if I can find it. So I think it came from the, where is it? I don't know, I didn't see anything issue here because in the email body I see something is abnormal here because I have an empty p tag here. This is weird, but it didn't cause any issue. So because in this table I have a p tag at the start, I don't see this is a closed p tag here. I didn't see anything wrong here. Maybe, yeah, I didn't see anything wrong here. Maybe I check the content. So basically I didn't see any issue here. I don't know what happened in the Gmail here, but it didn't cause any issue. So far so good. So basically, if you have more, let's say if you have more charts in the spreadsheet, let's try to make a copy of this chart. And now we have two of them in this worksheet, and let's try to send an email like this. So basically, this will handle multiple charts in your spreadsheet. Okay. So let's go back to my email. All right. I think we should have two. Yes, now we have two charts here. Okay, so it's just a little bit flexibility, okay, of this tool. All right, and I think that's almost everything I'd like to share with you. So you can start to play around with it. And I don't want to explain this a lot because I'm not very familiar with this regular expression. This could be a totally a lot of stuff you can learn from it. So you can check it from the a lot of websites, also a lot of tutorial on YouTube about how to use the regular expression. And you can find some video to start it if you like to grab information from website. Okay, so this template is not actually is not used in this project. I just need this to do a demo for you to explain the email structure to you. Okay, so I now remove it. So all the code are here. So if you see, so if you'd like to get an email like this, you can put your email address here if you like, or you can make a copy. I'd like you make a copy of this to your Google Drive and change the email here. And you also need to set up a trigger to run this send report function. So you click this trigger button, and as you can see here, I have a trigger like this, and you can add a new trigger. So you can add a new one, and you can choose a function. So you need to choose this send report function if you like to receive email. So if you like to refresh the data only, you can choose the get COVID-19 function. So maybe you can do it several ways. So for me, I choose a time-driven event. So you can set it every hour or I set it every day. So you can choose a time range for the day. And if you'd like to see every hour update, you can choose the hour timer. So you can do it every hour or every 2 hours, just like that. So it's very simple to configure. All right. So once you set up a trigger like this, I'm going to run the function automatically according to the condition you've set for the trigger. Okay, so I think that's all I'd like to share with you today. Okay, so I hope this lemon will go down very quickly. I hope. Okay, this is a very bad situation here. Okay, and I hope you all staying safe and staying at home. All right, so that's it for today, and see you next time. Bye bye.